The night was thick with fog, curling around the towering pines of the northern forest like fingers seeking secrets. The moon hung low and silver, its light glinting off the frost, covered under brush. Somewhere deep in the woods, a howl broke the silence, a warning, a song, a summons. She moved through the forest like a shadow. No name, no pack, no wolf. At least not one the world knew. Her bare hands brushed against the bark of ancient trees, each step precise, almost predatory. She didn't flinch at the whispers of the wind or the occasional snap of a branch underfoot. She had learned long ago that fear could kill faster than claws. The clearing came suddenly, as if the forest itself had been holding its breath. At its center stood the stronghold of the northern packs, a fortress of stone and timber that gleamed under the moonlight. Wolves prowled the perimeter, their eyes glowing with an unearthly light, ears twitching at every sound. Yet none approached her, as if sensing the absence of her own wolf. From the shadows of the stone archway, he emerged. The Alpha King. His presence was undeniable. Broad-shouldered, with hair like midnight silk and eyes that seemed to pierce through flesh and soul alike, he surveyed his domain with an air of quiet authority. Every wolf in the clearing stiffened at his gaze, bowing their heads instinctively, but his attention was not on them. It was on her. She felt it immediately, a shiver that traveled up her spine, a recognition that had nothing to do with memory or logic. His beast recognized her, not the name, not the pack, not the stories written in their ancient scrolls. Just her. Who are you? His voice rumbled like distant thunder, commanding, yet not unkind. Wolves growled low in warning, but he lifted a hand and they fell silent. I have no name, she admitted, voice barely above a whisper, though steady. No wolf. I am nothing to your records. He tilted his head, a faint smile teasing the corner of his lips, though his eyes never wavered. Nothing. That's impossible. He took a single step forward. The snow crunched under his boots. Even nothing carries a scent. Even nothing leaves a trace. She tried to retreat, but her feet felt rooted to the earth. A strange pull drew her closer, stronger than fear or reason. The clearing seemed to shrink around them. The wolves at the edge of the shadows watched, uncertain, as if even they could not predict what would unfold. The Alpha King stopped mere meters away. He lowered his gaze to her face, scanning for truth, lies, weakness, but found none. His wolf, a massive black beast with eyes like molten gold, stepped forward from his side, nose twitching, tail raised. It growled low and warning, but then did something unexpected. It bowed its massive head to her. She felt it then, a strange connection, a pull that was not of this world. She was not his wolf, not yet. But he was hers in ways she did not understand, in ways her heart recognized even before her mind could. I've been waiting, he murmured, almost to himself, waiting for the one I did not know existed. The wind carried a distant howl, echoing through the trees like a chorus of ghosts. Somewhere, far from the clearing, packs stirred uneasily. Secrets older than time had just begun to shift. She did not understand why her heart raced. She did not understand why her soul felt complete and terrified all at once. But she knew, in that first heartbeat, that her life would never be hers again. And the Alpha King, her Alpha, whether she liked it or not, knew it too. Clearing seemed frozen in time as the Alpha King studied her. His golden-eyed wolf lingered at his side, massive and protective, yet strangely reverent. The other wolves shifted uneasily, uncertain whether to attack, retreat, or obey the unspoken command of their Alpha. I must know your name, he said, voice steady but layered with an undercurrent of something she couldn't quite name. Interest, recognition, perhaps hunger. I don't have one, she admitted, keeping her voice calm though her pulse raced. No one gave me one. I have no pack, no ties, no past you'd recognize. He laughed softly, a deep, resonant sound that sent shivers down her spine. No past that makes you dangerous or valuable, perhaps both. His eyes gleamed in the moonlight, catching hers in a way that made her heart stutter. You've wandered into a world where every shadow knows you, or fears you, and yet somehow your wolf, your true self, has hidden from all of us until now. She swallowed hard. I don't know why I'm here. I just felt drawn, he repeated, stepping closer, the snow crunching under his boots. Yes, drawn to me. The words were a statement, not a question, yet the heat in his gaze made it feel like an accusation. Her stomach tightened. I don't belong here. I have nothing. He tilted his head, studying her like a predator sizing up prey, yet there was no cruelty in his gaze. Nothing. You have everything I've been searching for without even knowing it. Before she could respond, his wolf nudged her gently with its massive snout. The contact was electrifying warmth radiated from the creature, and yet it felt intimately tied to the Alpha King himself. She gasped, stepping back instinctively, though part of her longed to stay close. You see? He murmured, watching her. My wolf knows you, and if my wolf knows you, then so do I. You are not lost, you are found. A sudden movement at the edge of the clearing drew their attention. Two rogue wolves, black as midnight with eyes like liquid silver, circled from the shadows, assessing, waiting for the moment to strike. The Alpha King's posture shifted instantly, muscles coiling, energy radiating like a storm about to break. Stay behind me, he commanded, though there was no anger in his tone, only authority. His wolf growled low, a vibration that rumbled through the snow and into her chest. The rogues lunged simultaneously. In a blur, the Alpha King's wolf sprang forward, fangs bared, claws flashing in the moonlight. She watched, frozen and amazed, as the Alpha King moved as one with his beast, each motion precise, lethal, graceful. The two rogue wolves faltered, surprised by the ferocity and synchronicity of the Alpha and his wolf. With a final thunderous roar, the Alpha King pinned one rogue beneath his weight, the other retreating into the forest with a yelp of defeat. The clearing fell silent again, only the soft snow crunching under their feet. He turned to her then, breath visible in the cold night air, eyes glowing like embers. You saw that, he said, voice low, dangerous, intimate. And yet you did not flee. She faltered. I couldn't. I don't know why. You feel it too, don't you? His gaze pierced her like a blade. The connection, between you and me, between you and my wolf. It's undeniable, and it's dangerous. She swallowed, lips dry. Dangerous, yes, he said, stepping closer again, the scent of him overwhelming in the cold night air. Because once the northern packs know your existence, you will have no place to hide. No pack to protect you. No name to call your own. Her heart hammered. Then why did you let me stay? Why didn't you chase me away like the others? He studied her for a long moment, golden eyes locking onto hers with an intensity that made her knees weak. Because, he said finally, some things cannot be denied, and some wolves, some humans, are meant to be claimed. The wind whispered through the trees like a chorus of ghosts, carrying with it distant howls from the packs beyond. But in the center of the clearing, under the silver gaze of the moon, she knew, without a doubt, that she was no longer just a shadow. She was now a part of a world she had never imagined, and her life would never be the same again. The Alpha King extended his hand, not just as an offer, but as a challenge, a promise, and a claim. Will you come with me, or will you remain nothing? Her hand trembled as she reached toward his. She didn't know what awaited her, or why her heart screamed at her to trust him. But in that moment, she chose to step forward, and as her fingers brushed his, the forest seemed to hold its breath, as if the night itself recognized the beginning of a new legend. The Alpha King led her through the fortress gates, the wolves falling silent at his command. Their paws crunched against the frost, covered stone path, eyes flicking to her curiously. She felt every stare, every whisper of recognition from beasts that somehow knew yet did not know who she was. Inside, the great hall was vast and dimly lit by torches whose flames flickered against ancient stone walls. Portraits of past Alpha Kings and Queens stared down with stern, immortal eyes, yet she felt none of their judgment, only the overwhelming presence of the current Alpha King beside her. Sit, he commanded, gesturing to a high, backed chair near the hearth. His wolf padded to his side and sat, massive paws silent on the stone floor. She obeyed, though her hands shook slightly as she clasped them in her lap. "You're hiding something," he said suddenly, voice low, like gravel and honey mixed together. His eyes, golden and piercing, studied her face, as though reading her very thoughts. She hesitated. I don't know what you mean." He tilted his head, a faint smirk tugging at his lips. "Don't lie to me. Your wolf, it's not here yet, but it exists somewhere, and it's powerful. I can feel it swaying between the shadows, refusing to reveal itself." Her breath caught. He could feel her wolf. That shouldn't be possible. No alpha had ever been able to sense a wolf before it was bonded. Yet here he was, his beast at his side, and somehow they both knew she carried something extraordinary inside her. She began, then faltered. "I've always been alone. I've never known who I am or where I came from. That is about to change," he said, stepping closer, the heat from his body radiating even in the chill of the hall. "You may not have a name in the records, but you have one now. And your wolf, your true self, will answer to me, whether you want it to or not." Her pulse raced, heart hammering in a way that had nothing to do with fear. Something about the way he said it, the certainty, the dominance made her feel both terrified and alive. The room shifted as a messenger wolf padded in, silver eyes wide with urgency. "Alpha," it said in the old language, "there are disturbances in the outer territories. Rogue packs are moving, seeking something." He frowned, tension tightening the line of his jaw. "Rogues," he murmured, golden eyes flicking to her, "and now they will know you exist." Her stomach sank. "Me, yes," he said, moving to stand beside her. "Your arrival has set forces in motion you cannot yet comprehend, and some of them will not stop until they claim what is theirs." She shivered, not from cold, but from the electric tension between them. He leaned closer, voice dropping to a near whisper. "And yet you have drawn me in too. Even before I knew your name, your wolf recognized mine. My beast did, and I cannot ignore it." Her breath caught. The air between them thickened, heavy with unspoken desire. She wanted to step back, to run, but a part of her ached to stay, to lean into the pull she didn't fully understand. He placed a hand on the back of her chair, fingers brushing the nape of her neck. "There is danger in this world," he said softly, "but there is also strength, power, and connection. You belong here whether you realize it or not. And his gaze bore into hers, unyielding and consuming. "I will not let you face it alone." A howl shattered the moment, sharp and urgent, echoing through the fortress walls. Every wolf on the floor stiffened, ears pricked, muscles coiled. "They're coming," he said, turning toward the nearest window, golden eyes narrowing. "And when they arrive, there will be no hiding." She felt the tension spike in her chest, a mix of fear and exhilaration. Her life had always been defined by solitude, by shadows, but now, in the presence of this alpha king and the bond that hummed between them, she realized that the unknown was no longer something to fear. It was something she had to face side by side with him, and somewhere deep inside, her wolf stirred, awakening from the shadows. The hunt had begun.